and with the Confanotis Teaching Hospital, Dr. Ruth Owusu-Antwi joining us because she briefly for the next 2, 3, 5 minutes will answer some of the questions that we need to. And thank you for joining us, Dr. Ruth Owusu-Antwi. Unmute your sound, Dr. Ruth Owusu-Antwi. You have?
Yeah. Great. Thank you, Roland, and good morning to you and your listeners.
Yeah, great. I know, right? Sometimes we tend to forget that Zoom always says we should unmute. But look, I was just reading something from the Mental Health Organization's website of the UK, the Royal College. You know how they seem to have everything apportioned quite well. And they look at the psychology of students and parents and even the teachers in the return to school post-lockdown restrictions. Ideally, what should we be doing for the teachers on one side, the parents on the other side, and even the general observers?
So I've been a bit concerned because I realized that the government did very well, provided PPEs to the various schools, cautioned them about stepping up the preventive measures and all that. But it seems that everyone forgot about emotional PPEs, which is very essential in the whole of this pandemic. Students are going back to school. What kind of emotional PPEs have been dispatched to them? Both their teachers, their parents, and the students themselves. And I think that we have woefully done inadequately in that sense. People are anxious, parents are anxious, the students themselves are anxious. Teachers may be uncomfortable as well and may be entertaining their own anxieties, even though they may put up a brave face. And so I thought that there will be measures in place to educate these students, educate their teachers, tell them how to handle the anxieties that may come with students coming back to school and all that. Tell them that when students are anxious, where do they go to? Who do they see? Is there a counselor on site? Is there a mental health aspect on site? I didn't seem to see that aspect being visibly affected into students going back to school in all of this.
Yeah. And I was reading this from the Mental Health Organization website. They have mentally healthy schools websites to help children in transition. We don't have that in Ghana. Now, when you also move up, they equally have what they call, and this one has been put together rightly by the Royal College of Psychiatrists and Physicians, your people, the Royal College of Pediatrics and Child Health. They have a guidance on supporting children and young people living with a range of health conditions. We don't have that in Ghana, do we? How are these important ultimately in helping young people do the transition to the next step within such a difficult phase?
Very, very crucial. And I think that our colleagues elsewhere have set a very good example that we should follow, albeit late. It's better late than never. And so we should be able to put up these links quickly. When COVID came into the country, there were hotlines for people to call whenever they were having symptoms and all that. We should do likewise for students, parents of students, teachers, even in this time that they are going back to school. There should be hotlines for them to call. There should be centers or offices designated for just students who may be, or parents of students, or even teachers who may be experiencing anxiety one way or the other. Don't let us forget that our mental health directly impacts on our physical health. You cannot put in all the physical PPEs and expect that students will learn peacefully and pass their exams well? No, if you leave out their mental health. In fact, if the mind is not at peace, how are they able to sit down? How should they sit down, concentrate, revise, and follow through revisions that teachers may be taking them through? And so we should quickly put in such measures. It seems that our leaders forget about mental health all the time. But WHO says that there is no health without mental health. And so this is the time to rise up to the challenge. It may have come in late, but it is better late than never. Those measures should quickly be put in place so that our students can hopefully and totally be transitioned into this period of going back to school and being totally successful in their exams.
Well, we're opening the phone lines, and the phone lines will be on the screens for you. So for the next 5 minutes, we're interacting. If you know you have a ward who is in second cycle school, senior high school as we call it, or is actually in school, is in the gold track second year, please let's hear from you. 0302211691. 0302211692. Let us hear from you. Be on your screens. So, Mr. Angel Kabonu, if, let's say, hypothetically, in a particular school, a teacher or a pupil is noted. You know how we do rumors. Please unmute before you answer. Test positive. What will you do as teachers in that school?
Well, the reason why I'm laughing is because we all know the nature of our secondary schools and how everybody reacts to situations. Let there be a small who in the school that a girl is pregnant, and you know how the students react, you know. So it will be the same thing. I can assure you that there'll be students' reaction. The students will even attempt to start doing contact tracing by identifying who the student spoke to, who the student related with, and so on and so forth. The teachers themselves, I can assure you, will be a little bit confused because these are new situations that we've not handled before. I think the best thing to do is quickly to call the health professionals into the school, for the health professionals to handle the situation professionally. And what Madam was talking about, the psychological preparedness of people to handle a relatively new situation is absolutely very important, because there are times that you would think that you are adequately prepared and ready to handle a situation until the situation confronts you and you realize how confused and unprepared you are. Again, we are all getting back to the school hoping that nothing will happen, but that is not the situation, because we are in a human institution. Children are coming from all places. Teachers are coming from all places in this country. And if something like this happens, I think the first thing that I'll advise any school to do is to quickly, immediately call health professionals to come in. Even somebody who is well trained in handling the psychology of students, that number of students at the time, the words, the choice of words to use, the mannerisms and approach to use to calm people down. If you don't get it right, I can assure you, you'll be sending the wrong signals, and then you'll be creating more problems.
Let me go onto the phone lines, because my next question is to Dr. Owusu Entry, but Robert is calling from Kaneshi. Robert, how are you? Do you have a child in school, or you just want to contribute to the discussion? Robert? We have Robert? Robert?
Yeah, hello.
Yeah. Please contribute for me.
Yeah, I have a niece at SHS now who has gone to school now. I want to say that teachers have to be more vigilant, because these are children. Sometimes they will not, unconsciously, they will touch each other, unconsciously they can hug each other. Because if you look at what happened on Saturday, elderly people, MPP primaries, elderly people, when results was announced, look at the way people were hugging each other. They forgot about the protocols. So I want to say that teachers should be vigilant on the children. The headmasters should be vigilant on them so that they will not, as children as they are. If elderly people will forget, then what about their children? So I just want to say that all our teachers, we are encouraging them. It is a hard time, but they should be conscious of everything that they do. That's what I want to say. Thank you very much.
Matthias from Trefo. Matthias.
Hello, Roland.
Yeah, Matthias. We locally say Matthias. Matthias.
Yes.
This is the bropholize mention. So, Matthias. Matthias, what do you have to say to the conversation?
Yeah, I have a daughter who is part of the SHS2 Gold.
Mm.
And when the students in the classroom or they are before their teachers, they will comport themselves very well. But in their various dormitories, who is monitoring them? They may be exchanging items. They may be exchanging certain things that might be the cause of spreading the disease. So I'm even scared. I'm scared. My daughter is gone now, but I'm just thinking, what will be the
your daughter is gone to school?
Yes, she's gone.
Yeah. So it means psychologically you're also in an indecisive state.
Yes, I don't know what is happening to my daughter.
Dr. Ruth, before I go to Musa of Wa, Dr. Ruth Owusu-Entry, you see, we have a typical case of a parent, Matthias, who is also in a very indifferent state, very indecisive state, psychologically unbalanced. A typical case of parent, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and this is normal. This is to be anticipated. Unfortunately, this is not a time to call a PTA and put all the parents of these students together, but it would have been a very good time to connect to these parents via Zoom, like we are doing now, and then give them some form of preparedness before their wards come to school. Don't let us forget that children and young people look up to adults, especially to let them know whether they are safe or not. The fact that their parents are visibly worried will directly impact on the psychological state of the wards as well. If, however, their parents are confident, they see elderly people or older people confident that they would be safe in school, then it directly also impacts on their own level of confidence. So some measure that could have been put in place was to have put all parents together via Zoom, go through some form of psychological support by mental health aspect. And then that way, before their wards even leave home for school, they would reassure them that you'll be okay. And then in addition to that, when the kids have gotten back to school, these young people have gotten back to school, then another dose of psychosocial support will be given to them. But all of these have not been done. And I'm saying that it is not late. The mental health fraternity is ready to support. Psychiatric Association of Ghana is ready to support. The Mental Health Authority is on standby, ready to support. We need to be involved in all of this. We need to be invited and our expertise to be brought on board to support. And I encourage that patient, parent who just spoke, to calm down. Sometimes it's just difficult to calm down on your own. If it becomes challenging, you can get psychosocial support from any hospital close by who may have a mental health aspect at post. But make sure you are eating well, make sure you are sleeping well, and make sure that you are distracting yourself with useful and meaningful activities so that your mind is not concentrated on your worries about your kids. And if it becomes out of measure or it becomes unbearable for you, then this is the time to actually walk into any health facility and speak to a mental health aspect.
Yeah. I think that myself and Enje Kabono will tell you that not all the parents who are having their children in second cycle or senior secondary schools can access Zoom. But let me ask Musa, who is calling from Wa. Musa, have you accessed Zoom before? Musa?
Yes, sir.
You're calling from Wa.
Very well.
Have you accessed Zoom before? Zoom?
No, please.
Do you know what is Zoom?
Yes, yes.
But you haven't accessed it before. Do you have a child in second cycle school?
Yeah, I'm actually a facilitator at the second cycle.
You're a facilitator?
Very well.
Okay. And you haven't used Zoom before. So how do you, in these difficult times, interact with parents of the children?
Yeah, it's actually a difficult situation, sir. What is happening is that I was listening to the program, and when it comes to giving exercises, especially assessing students, I heard the president, Naga, say that when it comes to marking exercises, it will be difficult, and somebody tried to aid with ideas. For me, I think that, of course, teachers have been teaching, we have experienced teachers in the system. That one should be left to teachers to handle, because lives are at risk here. For instance, when you are collecting students' exercise books to mark, it is not one person you are going to mark the exercise book. You are going to prize them. So if there is a problem, of course, it is expected that the virus can be found on the surface of the exercise book. When you are put together and you mark, now what happens is that you have to send this exercise book to the student, and you cannot find them separately. So the implication is that if a student is infected, you are likely, as a result of assessing the student, by marking the exercise book, you are likely to spread the virus among the students. So for me, I think that the people trying to assess teachers on the ground as how to assess students should be left to teachers.
Yeah.
Yes. And then again, just like other experts are contributing, in fact, especially many teachers and even students are not actually very comfortable.
Well, we have Musa from Wa. The sound was difficult. But, Mr. Kabonu, how do we spread calm, not fear? How do we do that? You know that hashtag that was going at the beginning, it's all lost into oblivion. We've all forgotten about it. Now we are fearful than anything. But how do we resolve this?
Well, it's the fear did not come down because of the rising numbers in infected persons. When I saw my very good friend Gary Al Smith's picture at the Legon Center, I say, hey, enjoy from member, hope you know, that sort of thing. We do not know today. Just I'm hearing that we have crossed 14,000 and we are nearing 15,000. So, in as much as we want to calm down the fear, the numbers keep rising, and the places that we begin to see people get infected also keep rising, and then we get scared. But all that it is, one thing that we can assure ourselves that the total number of people who are recovering are also going higher and higher. And I hope and pray, the medical people have not maybe seen it, but maybe some of us may be blessed with certain blood type, blood group genes that even when we get infected, it does not have anything to do with us. Those of us who really struggled in life to succeed, we the non-dadabas, I know you understand that. We who are not dadabas, I don't think Corona is going to affect us. And we hope and pray so. So we can encourage ourselves with some of these things and know very well that a majority of us are going to survive this situation. Therefore, based on that, we can calm down the fears.
Calm down the fears. Okay, you're ready to face this hurdle. And we thank you. NAGRAT President Angel Kabonu.
Yeah, but Roland.
Oh, I've ended the discussion. Roland. Yes, sir.
Peter, find time and pass by the office for some discussion.
All right.
What a way to connect. Zoom and JoyNews, we're doing great work. Well, good connection there. Peter Auntie, a last word, just 30 seconds, and I'm timing it because my director says I should go off. 30 seconds.
Okay, so I would still appeal to the headmasters and then the teachers in the various schools to continue to use the various channels of communication in the event that there is an outbreak or a student picks the disease, so that we will not be able, we will not entertain rumors on our campuses and invite the health professionals to come and then handle the issue. I have to say that definitely somebody might contract it. The way we handle it is the key to the continued stay of students on campus, leading to them writing their exams.
Peter, you're like a pastor who knows that sin is inevitable. Anyway, Peter Auntie, I wish you the best for the morning. And also, NAGRAD President, I wish you can leave the meeting now, but you will be remaining. Dr. Ruth, your last word. What should be the frame of mind, the mind's frame of all the key stakeholders? We're talking the guardians and the parents on one side, the teachers in the middle, even the administrators in the schools, and the pupils themselves. So we have 4.
Yeah, so I would say that if you fail to prepare, then you prepare to fail. So let us put in psychological and emotional PPEs for our students, our teachers, our parents, the administrative staff of these students. And I would say on this channel that the Mental Health Authority, the Psychiatric Association of Ghana, are very happy and ready to partner all these bodies to make sure that this 3 months or so that the students are back in school, there are no eventualities. And even if there are eventualities, they are handled to the best of our capabilities. And so we will be happy to connect with all these bodies to give them all the support that they need.
Well, as the head of psychiatry, the Confidential Teaching Hospital, smooth talker, calms the storm like Moses. And thank you very much, Dr. Ruth Owusu-Entry, for your contribution. Very professional. And another professional is the president of NAGRA, professionally trained teacher, doing great work, serving as president of the National Association of Graduate Teachers. And Peter Auntie is executive director of the think tank Institute for Education Studies. IFES is the name. All of you, thank you for contributing.